Hakadosh Boker Or. Daf Yomi Masechet Zevachim Daf Kaf Amud Aleph 28:1. Yeah, says the Gemara. Kiata Rav Dimi, when Rav Dimi came, we're talking about Rav Dimi came from Eretz Yisrael to Bavel. Amar Rav Yochanan said the name of Yochanan by Ilfa. Ilfa came and he asked the question. Ledivrei HaOmer, according to the one that says, En lina moelet bekidush adam melagayim mekiyor. Ma'u sheipaslu. If you're going to tell me now that lina is not moelet, which means that even if you did it in the nighttime, it's still okay. You don't have to do it again during the morning. So what about the waters of the kiyor? The waters of the kiyor, they stay there the entire night. Do they become pasul or not? Mi amnina, do I say hani lemay for we need it for kedusha lev kedusha lev gufay lo possible lo nya? Or dimar, I'm going to say kevin the katishlu be kli sharet, since it's inside of a kli sharet, so mi pasli. So he says that they do become pasul, right? Belina. So basically the question is, do we have to get rid of that water and put new water in order to do kiddush laglaim or not? So Kiata Ravi, when Ravin came, Amar Rabbi Yirmiyah, he said name of Yirmiyah, name of Rabbi Yamin, name of Yochanan. Hadar Pashta Yilfa. Then afterwards the Yilfa answered it, and he says Kimachloket Bezuka. It's the same machloket. That means just like there's a machloket by the does the Kohen have to do a new kiddush laglaim in the morning or not? So to there's a machloket, do you have to switch these waters or not? So it's a machloket. So Amar Lefanav Rabbi Yitzchak Rabbi Yitzchak says Rabbi Yitzchak means the Rabbi Ata Omer Ken. Do you actually say that? This is what Rav Asi said. Name Yochanan, name Yulfa. Kiyor shelo shekum b'erev mekadesh benu lav dalayla u'macharon mekadesh. He says if it's going to be that they took this kiyor, that they didn't put it inside the pit in the nighttime, meaning they used to like roll it down inside of a pit to cover it. So he says, so therefore
they immersed it in water.
Exactly. So he says in such a case, mekadesh benu lav dalayla u'macharon mekadesh, and the next day they're not going to be mekadesh. So we ask the question: lemachar eno mekadesh, you don't need it. Or maybe it's going to be that it's not that you don't need it, it just becomes pasul. Velo pashalan. And he didn't have an answer. Umor kambashil amivshapel. He says it is going to be pashut. So Tashma, we're going to try to bring a proof. Ben Katina sash nemasar dad la kiyor. Ben Katini came and he did 12 spouts to the kiyor. Afu asamu chanin la kiyor. He also made a galgal, like what you said. How do you call it? Like, to bring it up and down. How do you call it? A lever?
A wheel, it says.
A wheel, yeah, going up and down. Right, in order to like bring it down to the pit, in order that the waters never become pasul belina. Yeah, like an elevator type of system. So he says, "My love, Rabbi Elazar Shimon." Is that the shita Rabbi Elazar Shimon? He says, "No, it's Rabbi." Vehami the Reisha, but the Reisha it says Rabbi Elazar Shimon. Say, "V'nami Rabbi Elazar Shimon." Titani Reisha balo etzel paro. He used to come to his par. Right, this is the Seder Avodah yesterday. So he says, Man Shavale Damar, Mena Olam Mizbeach Tafon. He says, who is the one that holds that between the Mizbeach and the Ulam, it's considered Tzafon. Look at the picture on the bottom there. In the picture on the bottom, you have Tzafon according to Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Yudah, and then you have the Tzafon according to Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Shimon. That's right beside the Ulam. Everyone sees the picture?
Yeah.
Ken. No. Yesh lecha po.
What is it? An animal and a person.
No.
Oh,
Kaf Amud Aleph, yes.
Okay. Animal, a tail?
No, Kaf Amud Aleph. So he says, who's that one? Rabbi Shimon. The Tanya was learned in the Braita, Ezeu Tzafon. He says, Mikir Mizbeach HaTzifoni, Vat Kotel Azara Tzifoni. He says, from the wall of the Mizbeach on the north until the wall of the Azara. Right? Uchnege Kol Mizbeach Kulot Tzafon. That's considered Tzafon. These are the words of Rabbi Yudah. Rabbi Shimon Mosif Af, right? Ben Haolam Mizbeach. Rabbi Mosif Af Mekom Drisat Reglei HaKohanim Mekom Drisat Reglei Yisrael, which is basically on the right. That's all that. So he added in. You got Aleph Bet Gimel. Do you see? Aleph Bet Gimel? Emuna Ubitachon brings Geula. Yeah. Aleph Bet Gimel.
Look at that. What is that?
אנחנו בתוך עזרת ישראל ועזרת כהנים. קודש קודשים זה בתוך ההיכל.
כן, בהר הבית.
ודאי.
זה לא למעלה איפה שהם עולים.
זה בתוך הר הבית.
What is the ABC showing us, Rabbi?
So there's the A, which is Shitat of Yosef Yehuda, that he says that it goes from the Mizbeach, but it's only the portion of the Mizbeach going north to the wall. That's considered Tzafon. The B is showing you, according to Rabbi Shimon, that he adds not only from the Mizbeach to the wall, on the side of the Mizbeach, but towards the Ulam and to the wall. But it's in the middle of the Mizbeach. So that's why the B goes halfway down. The C is Shitat Rebbe is also adding on to where the Kohanim walk and the Israelim walk, which is on the right side. That's a C. But again, it's halfway in the Mizbeach upwards to the wall. So that means that's all considered Safon. Okay? So he says, right? Rebbe Mosif Makom Yisrael. Aval mina Chalifot v'lifnim Makom Modim Shepasul. But from the Chalifot and inside. Oh, this is talking about like the Ulam. It's going to be for sure Pasul. Meaning inside the Chalifot, that's going to be for sure Pasul. We're talking about, do you see the Ulam, right? Inside that area of the Ulam. Mekizbra, is it logical? So he says, Hashta Rabbi Yudah Mosif. So he says he's only adding on, but he's not adding on to Rabbi Shimon. Right? Obviously, yes. So he says, Anan Hachi, come on, this is what we mean to say. If you're going to tell me now, right? Rabbi, he look me become the Yisrael, and my Rabbi Lazar has Rabbi Shimoni. So look me Mikira Mizbech at Sephoni, Kotel Azar at Sephoni. What are you going to tell me now? Mishum Chulsha de Kohen Gadol. Because the Chulsha of the Kohen Gadol, but remember, Yavodat Yom Kippurim is very, very powerful. He's in a Ta'anit, he stayed up all night. Now, if they're going to put the pot very far away from the Echal, so then he had to walk a lot, and it's going to be too much. So therefore, because of that, Tachanami, so to here, he comes and he says the entire area, right? You see the Bet Chalifot? It's in the
another picture.
Yeah, there's another picture. Bet Chalifot.
Both sides of the Ulam.
Yes, over here. It's called Bet Chalifot.
Chamber of Knives. Inward of the Chamber of Knives.
Yeah.
With the Chalifot on both sides of the Ulam.
Yes.
So that's what he's changing.
Yeah, they used to
have
keep-
walk too far. You
Yeah, they didn't want him to walk. Yeah, everyone got it? One more time. Here you've got the Bet Chalifot on both sides of the Ulam, of this inner chamber, plus the back part that's Lifnim. Okay? So he says, right, Achanami, so 2 years going to be the same Mishum Chulshat the Kohen Gadol. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, says Rabbi Yochanan, we're on the bottom of page Kaf Amud Aleph.
1 second, please. I'm going so fast.
Says the Gemara. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, says Rabbi Yochanan, Kiddush Adayim V'Raglayim L'Tumat Adeshen L'Machar. Right, when the Kohen is going to do Kiddush Adayim V'Raglayim, remember, Kiddush Adayim is always doing the Tilat Yadayim, right, and the feet also. Kiddush Adayim V'Raglayim. Right, L'Tumat Adeshen V'Tumat Adeshen L'Machar. Eno tzarich lekadesh shekvar kiddush mitchilat avodah. You don't have to do it again. Why? Because you did it at the beginning of the avodah. We had the same day. So the man, according to who? If you're going to tell me it's Rabbi Hamar Pasalina, he says that's going to be pasul. That means once it goes to the morning, again you have to do it again. And if it's going to be Rabbi Zabir Shimon Hamar, he said eno tzarich lekadesh afilu mikav ad asayimim. You don't have to do it again from now even to 10 days. So Amar Abaye comes and he says leolam really behemet. It's according to Rabbi. Lina de Rabbananu, and the concept of Lina is only with the Rabbanan, not Doraita. Modi, and he's going to say the Mikirota Gever Vatzafra. He says from the rooster's calling, right? Alota Shachar until the morning, until the Adaboker, until he says that's not Posel Belina. Rava comes and he says another answer. Leolam Rabbi Zabil Shimoni. He only appeared to him in his words in the beginning of the Avodah, but not at the end. And he did agree with him at the beginning of the Avodah, but not the end of the Avodah. Right? So, so we ask the following question. What happens to the Kohanim, the others, the brothers, they see him. Shiarad, he comes down. Now they come running. They did the Kiddush Adayim V'Raglayim in a kior. Right? So therefore, they were preparing themselves for the Avodah. So the Mishnah is coming and saying, how did they used to come and prepare themselves? Right? So still they would have to do it again or not. Kaf Amubet, 20b. So Bishlam Alabai says good according to Abaye, 20b. Right? It's good according to Abaye the Mukim la Rabbi that he says like Rabbi Moder Rabbi Mikrot the Gavrat Safarano Paslina. Hamani Rabbi, it's Rabbi. But according to Rava, the Mukim la that he's going to say it's going to be Rabbi Zabir Shimon, Aval Rabbi, but according to Rabbi, right? Mikrot the Gavrat Safarano Paslina. Hamani, who is it then? If it's Rabbi Paslalina, if it's Rabbi Zabir Shimon, Amar, he said even now till 10 days. So he says, Leolam, it's Rabbi Zabir Shimon. The Kohen Echat, it's new Kohanim. Since it's a new Kohen, right? So if they didn't do the Avodah in the night time, they for sure have to do the Kiddush Adayim V'Raglayim. Ibailu, we have a question. Yatsa, what happens if he came out of the Hazara? Ma'u Shatu'il, because now he has to do it again? So imagine, he went outside of the Hazara, now he has to do again Kiddush Adayim V'Raglayim or not? It's the same day. So he says, Im tu mitzalman lo lina lo pasla, right, de lo parish, aval yitzia is going to be considered parish. Why? Asucha says sechadat. Or Dilmar maybe, came to the Yadol Achsor, since he could come back immediately, it's not a sechadat. So Tashma, we're going to try to bring a proof. Kidesh adav raglan nitmeu matbilan, ve'en tzrich lekadesh yatzu harei mikdushatan. So it comes out that if they went out, they're still holy. They don't have to do it again, right? Because they still have it. So it says the Gemara, no, yatzu yadav lo kimi bailan ki kambal it's a gufo, not the hands. The question is the body. So Tashma shelo rechutz yadayim lagam ketzad. What's the case? Mekadesh b'klisha bifnim, והקדיש ויכלה בחוץ וברחוב יכולים בפנים, או שטבל את המערה במי מערה ועבד, ראית עבודתו פסולה. So תעמד וקידש בכלי שרת בחוץ. That he did the קידוש ידיים ולרגליים outside. But if he did it on the inside, he's going to be יצא. And then he went outside, so then it's going to be kosher. So דילמה קידש ידיים ולרגליים, קידש בכלי שרת בחוץ, איך ידע what's the case? כגון דאפי כידיו לבד. He only took out his hands outside, and he did קידוש ידיים ולרגליים. הקידש בפנים יצא, his hands came outside, still going to be kosher. But that's the question. If he actually, the entire body left the Azara. So Amalei of Zilder of Papa Tashima, we're going to try to bring another proof. If he went outside of the walls of the Azara, if he stayed there, he has to do Tvila again. But if it's only according to the small amount of time, he only has to do Kiddush Laglaim. So Amalei says no. He went out to do his necessities. So the or latil mayim, right, to urinate. So in such a that's what we're talking about. So if you go to do the for sure to do kiddush line, you went to the washroom. For sure you have to do kiddush line. So it says you're right. We taught it and then we were actually explaining it. Okay, Tashima. We're trying to bring another proof now. Okay, so basically the concept is that a person is inside the inside of the Torah. And then he walks out. He could walk out by being on the phone. He could walk out by being on the thing. So in such a case, does he have to do a new kiddush? He has to sanctify himself again because at the end of the day, he's out. He's out of it. So Tashma, para. Talking about para duma. So that was the musar for today, by the way. Rabbi says, "Mekadesh b'kli bifnim." He sanctifies the kiddush inside of the azara. The yotze, and then he goes out. Rabbi Yochanan said, "No, even outside." And even with kli chol, even with the utensils of like regular weekday ones, and even with drinking cups shel cheres. So Papa says, "Shani parat zevrim bara ahoy v'chol maaseh b'chutz shelo pasla b'yitzia." But it didn't say it's right to the yitzia. Yihach yivso lami le mekadesh. So kein avodah bifnim. It's like the avodah but inside. So we're going to ask a question. Tum'ah. Ma'u shetoil levatel b'kiddush shalem. If somebody becomes tameh, does that annul the kiddush shalem v'naglaim? So if you're going to tell me Yitzia is lo pasla because the gavra is still fitting, meaning the person is still fitting, but here the person is not fitting to serve anymore. He became tameh. So suchim asachtatef, there was a sechadat. Or Dilmar, maybe given the adar chazet, since again he's fitting again, right? Dakla there was no sechadat. So tashema kiddush laglam nitmu matbilam and tzech. No, you only have to do tvilat yadayim, but you don't have to do kiddush laglam again. Tvilat yadayim is only tvila, but you don't have to actually do netilat yadayim. Remember, there's a concept of tvilat yadayim. Nitmeu yadav, lo mibailan, ki mibailan nitma kol gufo. The question was on the entire body. Kol gufo, why didn't you just say, Kevin the Baila Meva the Erev Shemesh, you need Erev Shemesh, there's a sechadat. He says, no, Kigon di Tameh, so he became Tameh Mamash right before Shkiat HaChama. So since he became Tameh right before Shkiat HaChama, he's already going to become Taor in a few minutes. So there's no sechadat. So Tashma, we have another proof. Para, Rabbi Chia, Rabbi Yossi Omer, Rabbi Yossi says, Mikadesh mikli shel bifnim. He comes out, Rabbi Yochanan says, afilu b'chutz, afilu b'kli chol, afilu mimkidah shel cheres, right? Veha para d'tmim mitmilele. He says, para duma, that it's going to be mitameh. Mitamina you, right? The Tran said, right? So we're going to speak about it with Zat Hashem on Sunday.